Hello, welcome to the CEO dg&la YouTube channel.
Here is another video of Greek and Latin roots. So in this video, we'll be learning some more Greek and Latin roots like scribe, ideo, dom, cron, logi, poly, mesine, soma, phil, rect, and many more. So these are helpful for exams like CAT, XAT, IIFT, IRMA, CET, MAT, UPMCAT, and all academic and competitive exams. Let's continue with our Greek roots. So the first root we are going to say is mesine. Mesine means to hate. So whenever we want to express our hatred, we use the word mesine as a Greek root. And some of the forms of mesine are, first is misanthropist. So we have mis for hatred, anthropos for mankind, and ist is something which says that one who hates mankind. So misanthropist gives one who hates mankind. The second one is misogynist. So mis, once again, hatred. Gyne, which we have learned earlier in the part 1 of our Greek roots video. Gyne means woman. So misogynist together gives one who hates women. The next root is misogamist, which means one who hates marriage. Gamy, which we learned earlier, belongs to marriage. And miso is hatred. So one who hates the concept of marriage, we call them as misogamist. So the three words we are learning for the Greek root mesine are misanthropist, misogynist, and misogamist. The next root is morph. So we generally know what is morphing, so changing the form of something. So just like that, it's actually originated from the Greek root morph, which means form. So the words related to this root morph are, the first one is morphology. Morphology is the form and structure of an organism or the study of the form. Either way, like in either of these two meanings, we call it as morphology. So morph, which means form, and ology is study of. So study of something, which means here morphology gives study of the form, or in particular the form and structure of an organism. We call it as morphology. The second one is metamorphosis, which is change of form. The root which we have here is morph. Here it is in the middle of the word. Metamorphosis gives change of form. So this change of form could be in particular as in pathology, we can say it, like a change in the structure of a specific body tissue, or it can be in some other context like in biology, for example, a change in the form and often habits of animal, or it can be some sociable changes, which is a noticeable change in the character, appearance, or any condition. In all such contexts, we can use metamorphosis, which is change of form. The next one is morphogenesis. Morphogenesis here gives the development of species of an organism. So here it can be like in particularly in biology, we can say it as the differentiation of tissues and subsequent growth of the structures in an organism. In such cases, we call it as morphogenesis. So these are some of the words that belong to the root morph. Moving on. The next one is onym. Onym in the Greek, it means name. For suppose the first one, if we see, it's pseudonym. So here onym we can see, which means name, and pseudonym, it refers to a pen name. For example, it is like a fictitious name as those used by writers or movie stars. sometimes singers. So all these have a stage name or a pseudonym to actually hide their original identity. So those type of names, we call it as pseudonym. The next one is antonym. Antonym and synonym. These two are the common words we hear regularly in English. So antonym means opposite in meaning, whereas synonym means similar in meaning. We shouldn't get confused between these two, especially in exams. So antonym, it is ant, which is the opposite one, and synonym is something similar. So nym, as we know, it gives the name, and antonym is the word that is opposite in meaning, and synonym is the word that is similar in meaning. The next one is toponym. Toponym means word derived from name of a place. We call it as toponym. Topo generally refers to a place, area or region. So that comes like topo, and nym refers to name. Simply we can say it as a place name. So for example, names like North America, South America, United States, all these are examples of toponyms because they are derived from the name of a place. And you can also take examples like Narnia. Even though they are made up places, they are the example of toponym. The next one is homonym. So homo gives the same meaning as sino. So this is in particular having same spelling or sound. So whenever we say homonym, it could be either similar in spelling or in sound. So either of these, we call it as homonym. Nym means name. Together, all the words with same spelling or sound, like pair of words, or could be more than two. Like any words which have same spelling or have the similar sound, we call them as homonym. For example, if we take a simple word like bat. So bat has two meanings, like because when we say the animal bat, we refer to the animal, and it can also mean an equipment, particularly we use in some sports like cricket. So that is also bat. So here bat is something which has the same spelling or same sound because it has two different meanings, an animal and the equipment we use in sports. This is one of the examples of homonym. Now, let's see the Greek root pan. Pan means all. Like for example, pan India, which means overall India. Like for example, a film which is released pan India, which means it is available in the whole country. So that is an example of pan. And let's see some more. So the first one is pan human. Pan is for all, and human, we generally know it as humanity. So pan human gives for all humanity, or something that is applicable to all human beings. That is pan human. The next one is pantheism. It means that belief that God is everything. So this is in the context of a religion, like the belief that the universe is in some sense of divine and should be revered. And moreover, pantheism identifies the universe with God but denies any personality or transcendence of such a God. So simply belief that God is everything is called pantheism. The next one is panorama. So in camera views, we see several options, and one of such is panorama. Panorama gives an all-round view. So if you want a 360-degree view, you can just slide on to the option called panorama. It gives a very good all-round view of the place. And the next one is pantropic. Pantropic is found throughout the tropics. Anything that is found throughout the tropics or the tropical regions, we call it as pantropic. So simply pan means all, and a tropic means here referring to the tropical regions. Something found throughout the tropics is called pantropic. So these are some of the words relating to pan. Moving on, the next one is path. In English, we may refer to as the footpath or a roadway or something related to where we walk. But taking from the Greek, the root path means a feeling. So example like sympathy. It is compassion for someone else's pain. So this is a feeling of pity or sorrow for suffering or distress of another. The compassionate feeling, the compassion we show towards another person is called sympathy. So it is originated from the Greek root path. You can say it otherwise. So sympathy means compassion. The next one is empathy. This is also similar to that, but this is a little bit different, which means feel someone else's pain and sympathize. That is empathy. So this is more like the identification with or understanding of the thoughts, feelings, or emotional state of another person. That in detail understanding, we call it as empathy. So it's basically the capacity to understand another person's point of view or the result of such understanding. Such kind of understanding is called as empathy. This is one of the techniques in the design thinking methodology. We have a phase called empathy, which means we empathize the problem which we take up and identify the different perspectives and understand and analyze about it. So the first phase of designing is empathize, like to empathize and then define the problem, later ideate it, prototype, and then test it. And this is a continuous thing. So empathy is something analyzing and feeling of understanding. The next one is apathy. It is a little bit different to the first two words. So it shows the indifference, which means lack of interest or enthusiasm. It could also be like lack of emotion or motivation. So feeling lack of interest or enthusiasm towards anything. Simply disinterest. So the feeling of disinterest is called apathy. So these are the three words related to path. The next one is ped. So this is the Greek root which means simply a child. So like we know the doctor for the children is called pediatrician. So the doctor who treats children is called a pediatrician. So this came from the Greek word ped, which is child. So someone who treats children is called a pediatrician. The next one is periodontics. Periodontics is concerned with dental care and the treatment of children. So it is also basically about children, but it specializes in the dental care. So a branch of the dentistry which specializes in the care of children's teeth. That is called periodontics. So pedo here also means child or children. Doctor concerned with the treatment of a branch of dentistry that treats the children's teeth. The next one is pedology. Pedology is simply the study of physical and mental development of children. So it completely involves with the children, and as we know, ology is study of, and here ped means child. So study of children, especially their physical and mental development, that we call it as pedology.
Dhanyavad. Thank you. If you like this video, do like, subscribe and share. See you in the next one. Bye bye.